Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad I came up here now. Holy cow. Holy cow. I can't believe this. I gotta get my camera. Alright, are you ready for this? So right down there, that's the town of Cumberland Gap, where we were just at. Wonder, go over here to this side. I wonder if you can see the iron furnace from up here, or the top of it, or whatever. Alright, there's the parking lot for the iron furnace, right down there. So that's where we report. Middlesboro, Kentucky, over there. That's Middlesboro, Kentucky. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bridge right down here on the highway. That's the bridge where we got off of that highway after coming through the tunnel. If you have the pinnacle to yourself for any amount of time, you better count your blessings. Because I wasn't out here probably 5 minutes, and now the place is full. Alright, give you one last look before we head back. So as we're walking back to the bike, I'll tell you a little what I know about the Gap, just by looking at a little bit of history. So obviously the first creatures to use the Cumberland Gap were wild animals. And of course, wild animals usually take the path of least resistance when they're traveling, and so there were tons of little animal trails through the Cumberland Gap. Well, the Native Americans followed those animals' trails, and they used the same trails as the animals to traverse the gap. So the Native Americans were the first people to use the gap. Then traders and all that kind of stuff came, and they started using the gap. So those would have been the next people, probably like the first white people would have been traders and explorers and stuff like that. And then it's funny to think, but at one point, like the side of these Cumberland Plateau where Middlesboro sits was thought of as the western frontier. Now we would never think of it that way. But back in those days, remember, everybody's living in colonies on the east coast. And so that was the western frontier. And people were wanting to spread out and find more places to live. They were that westward expansion that we all learned about. And so Daniel Boone actually led some of these frontiersmen through the Gap to establish settlements on the other side and trade and all that kind of stuff. And then from then on, the Gap was like vitally important for economic reasons, for transportation reasons, for expansion reasons, for political reasons. It was very strategic politically, and I've already talked about that a little bit when I was talking about the Civil War. So yeah, it has an interesting and important history. So, and it's beautiful. So, yep. Here's what's crazy is, look, this is originally the pinnacle. I thought this was insane. And this is the dirt road going up to the pinnacle. And they're all taking it in these old, oh my goodness. There's no way in the world I would have tried that. Those were some very, very brave people. Now look, there's a cave here, and you have to pay to go in it, and you have to have a tour. So I haven't done that yet. This is the iron furnace that we went to. Pinnacle. Hensley Settlement. I haven't been there yet, but you have to hike there. So look, this Wilderness Road is the original Cumberland Gap Trail, and that where we were sitting, that parking lot down there, I believe there's that's the Wilderness Road trailhead. So there you go. That is Cumberland Gap. That is the pinnacle at Cumberland Gap. So I'm going to go back to the campground. I'm going to cook me some food. And then I'm just going to chill in my hammock. That sounds like a great plan. Maybe take a shower a little bit later on. And just take it easy this evening and plot out my plan for tomorrow. I forgot, there's this little Bartlett Park Road that I saw on the way up. I have no idea where it goes or what Bartlett Park is, but I'm gonna see if I can ride up it a little ways. We'll take a little detour right here and see what this is all about. If it's anything, it may be another disappointment like that first road today. But you never know. So let's go up here and see what Bartlett Park is. Looks like it dead ends up here at some point. That's interesting. Ranger Station. Maybe this is just some kind of like day use area? Yeah. It's a park. Just a regular old park. Picnic tables. There's a little stream over there. I don't know what that is. Oh, that must be the part of the ranger station. Resource Management Office. This is where the road ends, I think. Is there a gate up here? Let's see what this sign says. Do not feed horses. Huh. Do you know if that's a road you can ride on, or is it just a trail? Oh, it just goes to the end? Yeah. Is there anything down there worth seeing? Okay. Yeah, I've already been up there, so. Okay. Well, thanks. So she said there's like a cemetery up there. So that's actually something I might want to see. So let's see here. I'm going to switch over to Onyx. I don't even have my phone in the cradle. Don't move. Oh, no, I dropped my glove. Oh. Murphy's Law at work right there. Yeah, so it shows that it goes up there and ends. Might as well. Nothing else to do. And it's gravel. And you know how I am about a gravel road. Where the pavement ends is where the fun begins. I see nothing that says do not enter. The only thing I see is do not feed the horses. And I don't intend to do that. So let's ride up here. The way I see it, if there's no sign and there's no gate or chain or wire or something, then that means the road is open. And here's the end. Maybe. No, no, no. Look. Keeps going. Ah. Oh, this is looking more and more like my kind of road. This must be the cemetery up here. Oh yeah. That's it. Rather cool. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so glad I came up here now. Holy cow. Holy cow, I can't believe this. I gotta get my camera. Random cemetery. And there's a Whitaker. Oh my goodness, they even spell it right. This is my last name, guys. She's still alive. He died in 2005. Harry Whitaker. I've studied a little bit of my family's genealogy. And I discovered that the Whitakers, which is my family, two of them, Captain Jabez and Alexander, they were brothers, were at Jamestown. Some of the original colonists at Jamestown. And so I can trace my family lineage directly back to Captain Jabez. And then Alexander Whitaker, who was known as the prophet of the New World, I think. He's the one who baptized Pocahontas. But Captain Jabez, his brother, was my direct ancestor. I don't see any other Whitakers. Those are the only ones out here. How about that? Like, I just happened to take a road. Almost didn't take this road. Then decided to. Random road out here in the mountains. And I'll find somebody that bears the family name. I'm going to have to go back and look and see if I can find them anywhere, see if I'm actually related to them, which I would think probably. Whitaker's got their start at Jamestown. So that's pretty early on. And then from Jamestown, they moved into Virginia. From Virginia, they ended up in North Carolina around the time of the Civil War. And then after the Civil War, some of them ended up down in Georgia, some of them in Alabama, some of them in Mississippi, and some of them even over here, over in Tennessee, and some in Kentucky. So it was kind of like from North Carolina, they kind of spread out. All right, I'm tired. I'm gonna get off this road. Morrissey Cemetery. I can see why they blacktopped to this part. Can you imagine trying to come up this if it were muddy? Most of this road would be fairly passable in mud, I imagine, or when it's wet. I imagine that that would not. Well, Bartlett Park did not disappoint. Didn't know what I was expecting. I wasn't really expecting anything. But it blew my expectations out of the water. So I'm back at camp and about to get supper ready. And tonight I got some of this. I've never had this stuff before. Supposedly all you gotta do is add water to it, wait a little while, then eat it right out of the bag. Chicken fried rice. So I'll got my coffee pot here, so I'll get it boiling in that on the whole thing and then pour it in there. Let it sit for a little bit and then we'll see. Starting to boil. It'll be long now. Oh yeah, it's boiling. Let's pour it in there. Gotta put my gloves on. That's the handles are hot. Cut that off first. Whoa, almost dropped, almost spilled it. Ooh, it's hot. Alright. Pour it in. Stir it around. And then let it sit. Oh, you're supposed to reseal the package. Okay. Reseal the package. Alright. Wait 5 minutes. In my opinion, it's not even really camping if you don't have coffee. No better coffee than coffee from Berkeley. Whoa! This is an accident waiting to happen. I gotta get me a little base for this to sit in, because this table is a mess. Look at that, it just wants to roll and fall over. So that's about as sketchy as it gets right there. Look at it moving while it's boiling. That's crazy. I'm gonna stand here and make sure it don't fall. Although if it does fall, I'm gonna get scalded because it's gonna splash all over me. But it only needs another minute or two, and it'll be ready to come off. Crazy. I gotta get me a base for this. This is stupid the way I'm doing it. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see how this is. It's still hot. Got a blessing. Alright. Smells good. I did put too much water in it. So I got some tea that I brought from home. And I got my campfire coffee. I'm gonna let that cool a little bit. Let's see here. Hot. Oh, that's hot. But it's pretty dang good. Either that or I'm super hungry. That's good. That's good. Could use some garlic salt. Man, that's still hot. Everything's too hot. But I'm so hungry, I couldn't wait any longer. These little things definitely make like dry camping easier. Man, all you gotta have some water, ability to boil it. I'm gonna have a fire later in the little fire pit over here, but I don't need it. I could have made it tonight without that. So this is pretty good. Probably not as good as that smell that was in Cumberland Gap in that little town, but this is much better than like a hot dog or a can of Vienna sausages. Yep, really good, really good, really good. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. Good morning, YouTube. It's the next day. I have to say that this one-person tent here, I paid like $30 for this thing at Walmart, but it slept really well. I had plenty of room in there for all of my stuff, all of my bags and everything, my helmet, my backpacks, all that kind of stuff. I had plenty of room in there. And one of the things that I hate about a tent, I can't stand to be like up against the side of a tent. And there was enough room for me to kind of put all my stuff around me and sleep right in the middle of the tent. And I had plenty of room in there. And I felt like it was spacious. So for $30, you can't beat that. So yeah, I'm really happy with that purchase. And this morning, I got me a breakfast skillet. So I'm going to be making that up here in just a minute. And then getting the bike loaded up. And then we'll hit the road. So I think while the water's boiling and I'm waiting on everything to make, that's when I'm going to start tearing down camp and packing things up. So last night I was having a problem with this thing trying to fall over. I'm sure you remember that because it was like a big deal while I was trying to cook. I was having to stand there and hold it while it percolated my coffee. And so I got to look at it, and on the bottom of this bottle, the bottom's not flat. It's concave on the bottom, I think is how you say that. And so right in the middle, there's like a little round part, and so that's why it was moving around on that little round part. So and I said something to the effect of, well, I got to get me a stand for this. So anyway, I carry this camp axe with me, And I have this pool noodle on here to protect my bags and stuff from the blade of the axe. So here's what I did. I just cut a little disc off of there because it got a hole in the middle, and put it right there under the bottom, and that thing is stable as it can be now. So I'm not even gonna get a stand now. I'm just gonna put that in the little bag with my burner and use it. So score one for the redneck industrialist, I guess you can say. Again, being cheap wins the day. So so I may be a weirdo, but like I could stand here and watch this thing percolate like this. For a long time. It takes me back to my childhood because I think the first time that I ever saw a percolator coffee pot was at my grandmother's house, and every morning she would make coffee for my grandfather, and it was one of these percolator coffee pots. And so yeah, it kind of takes me back anytime, just hearing the sound of that percolating takes me back to when I was a little kid. And there are images that accompany the sound. It's just really strange. Anyway, enough of the retreating into my childhood. Let's get back to the present. All right, I have to tell you, this breakfast skillet, Mountain House breakfast skillet, this is amazing. It's almost as good as if I were making bacon and eggs for myself. It's really good. And this coffee, I'm telling you, this is an awesome breakfast. Okay, we are leaving the campground. Most of today should be paved. I know there's going to be some gravel, and there's actually a couple of fire towers that I'm going to try to hit.